welcome back to my channel. My name is Sonya Maya. I'm a clinical psychology doctorate student who loves to make informative videos about psychology, sex, and relationships, real-life applications. In this video, I want to talk about some new things that I learned about having a better orgasm as a female. I've been on this website called BEDucated. It's like bed educated, get it? BEDucated, nice puns. I love a good pun. I've been learning so much about the body, about the vagina. They call it the yoni on there, which I'm not a huge fan of calling it that, but I want to share with you some things that I've learned from the site. Before I get into what I've learned about having a better orgasm, let me just explain what this site is. They have so many courses, a huge library of courses of everything you can learn about sex when it comes to pleasing yourself, pleasing a partner, becoming a better lover, becoming just sexually literate. They have courses such as sex experiments for couples if you want to spice things up, how to lick like a pro, it's a good one, making blowjobs fun for everyone, sensual massage, squirting. They also have this one called Roadmap to Intimacy, which is really good. It teaches you skills that you can use alone or with a partner to increase your intimacy and closeness with your partner without allowing emotional blocks to get in the way, such as trauma or just anything that might be getting in your way. As humans, a lot of the time we're taught that sex is this taboo thing and that pleasure is sometimes, especially for women, stigmatized. The ways in which we want to be pleased, the desire we have for sex. So it can create a lot of unhealthy emotional blocks when it comes to our own pleasure. So Roadmap to Intimacy, it helps us kind of break down those blocks that get in the way of our emotional intimacy. There's also a course on face sitting, which is really good. So if you have a hard time finishing when you are face sitting, this might be due to us being in our heads. So it kind of teaches you how to do this without kind of thinking about it too much. My favorite part about BEDucated is that every sex educator on there is a sexpert, a world-renowned sex educator. There's a community that you can reach out to for questions or similar issues. You can actually watch the tutorials. Like, they teach you how to do certain things and certain techniques. It's like porn, but it's real, but they also give you an instruction manual. So for those visual learners out there, you catch my drift. So before I get into what a yoni egg is and how it can benefit your orgasm and what a breast massage can do, I want to tell you that you can try BEDucated one day for free. And if you like it, you can use my code SONYAMAYA for 70% off, and that deal is locked in for life. What is a yoni egg? I didn't know what it was until I subscribed to BEDucated. So yoni eggs are an ancient practice that help with orgasm. They can be used to strengthen the pelvic floor, which is really important. I'm going to get into that in a second. It can help you improve your relationship with your vagina by increasing the sensitivity of your vagina. When I was taking this course on BEDucated, I learned from a woman named Rosie Reese. Rosie explained that it's very important to have a strong pelvic floor because your pelvic floor supports a lot of your organs, such as your urination, so your bladder. It supports your vagina in general. If you don't have a strong pelvic floor, it could lead to reproductive issues, bladder issues, etc. This is what a yoni egg looks like. There's a huge selection. I'm about to order one. I've never actually used them. I'm just explaining what I've learned from BEDucated about them, which makes me really want to explore how this could help me personally. It said that jade is the strongest crystal that you can use and that the larger ones are easier to keep in the vagina, like the smaller ones are more likely to slip out, which makes sense, but generally a medium-sized egg is good for most women. She explained that a lot of women are worried that it's gonna get stuck up there, but it's actually impossible to get stuck. She explains how to get it out, so I highly suggest that if you're gonna get a yoni egg, you should watch her whole tutorial on how to insert it, how it helps, and also how to get it out. And for individuals that aren't used to having an internal orgasm, which is a lot of women, only 1/3 of women can actually do that. It's good for women to actually explore their orgasmic potential because you might not know that you can orgasm that way until you get more in touch with your vagina, and a yoni egg can help you get there. It resensitizes the entrance of the vagina as well as the vaginal walls and the cervix. It is very emphasized that sex and masturbation will become better. When you use a yoni egg, it apparently awakens your erogenous zones by awakening nerve endings. And she said that pretty much any woman can use it, but just don't use it when you're pregnant. You have to wait about 6 weeks after having birth to use a yoni egg. It's not recommended to use it when you have a UTI or inflammation, any kind of infection. Don't use it when you're on your period, but besides that, it's generally safe. When you put the yoni egg in your vagina, it rests between your G-spot area and the cervix. And it's really important to soften and relax your whole body and your tummy, to ask yourself permission, making sure that it's okay. You don't just force it in there. Like, is this okay? Making sure you feel comfortable. And also preparing yourself. It's important to use foreplay for ourselves. I feel like a lot of the time we don't, because you just get to the point. You know, especially if we only masturbate in one way and that's the way we've always done it. But if you want to look for different ways to explore your orgasmic potential, it's good to kind of rub yourself down and give yourself a massage. And she very highly recommends, before using a yoni egg, to give yourself a breast massage. And she has a whole video showing you how to do it. And I tried it yesterday with coconut oil. It is fantastic. So let's talk about breast massage and the importance of taking care of our breasts, okay? So breasts are connected to the vagina. When breasts are aroused, we are more likely to experience more pleasure, to have better orgasms. The nipples can become more sensitive when we caress them. It's also important to note the health benefits. It's not only better orgasms, but when you give yourself a regular breast massage as a part of your self-care routine, or if you have a partner give you a breast massage before, doing the dirty, it can be really, really good for your breasts and your overall health. They can actually prevent cancer holistically. That's what she was saying. Rosie Reese was explaining that when you when you give yourself a breast massage more often, holistically, because the blood flow gets increased, like when you're giving yourself a massage, you're sending blood to different areas. The circulation of the blood actually helps you prevent certain cancers, but also in general, giving yourself regular breast massages will help you detect a lump. If there's anything going on, any kind of sign of cancer, you'll be able to detect that. So it's great for preventative measures. She also said it can increase the size of your breasts and the firmness. For women that are younger, when you give yourself regular breast massages, it can actually prevent sagging, which I think is something that most women want. I definitely want that. So I'm gonna try to put it in my to-do list to do this more often. In general, when you give yourself a breast massage, it increases youthfulness. It actually increases anti-aging hormones such as prolactin, oxytocin, and estrogen. We all know oxytocin as it's known as the love hormone because it's known for being a hormone that promotes bonding with a partner, and of course it's the one that gets released when you are breastfeeding a newborn baby. But you can increase oxytocin on your own by touching them on your own. You don't have to wait for a partner to come around. She recommended doing it after every shower if you can remember to do so. Just giving yourself like 5 minutes on each breast, 10-minute massage, it might make a huge difference. With all that in mind, knowing that breast massages enhance pleasure and heighten orgasms, we should all try it. It increases that blood flow, it increases your immune system. You don't need like a fancy oil, you could just use coconut oil. Coconut oil is also a good lubricant, like I've talked about in my TikTok videos. Tickling your nipples is actually really good for getting you wet and getting you in the mood. So if you are looking to increase the quality of your foreplay, or if you're looking to get horny faster and get wet faster, natural lubrication, ask your partner to kind of circle around your nipples. And the more that you do that, the closer you can get to a nipple orgasm, which sounds amazing. So many different types of ways you can orgasm. She was saying that women can orgasm 76 different ways, and I'm just like, whoa, okay, that's amazing. Something else she talks about is how important it is to have a healthy relationship with your vagina. You need to listen to it with love and get consent from it, having better sexual boundaries with yourself. So the more close you are with your vagina and the better relationship you have with your vagina and your vulva, the more likely you're going to make better sexual decisions for yourself. And maybe you didn't understand that your pleasure was just as important as the other person's. And you know, sometimes we get into our heads and we think more about the person that we're with than ourselves, when our pleasure is important. You know, many of us deny or revoke the importance of our pleasure because of society. And in the BEDucated lessons by Rosie Reese, she can teach you how to communicate with your vagina and how to talk to it. And as a reminder, I highly recommend that you subscribe to BEDucated for only $7.99 a month. As I said before, you can try 1 day for free to see if you like it before subscribing. And honestly, take some notes. I mean, there's only so much you can learn in 1 day, but it'll be worth it, and you'll be supporting sex educators. Something else to know about orgasms: they are all different in intensity, strength, duration. The kind of orgasm that you might have might be a lot different than what you've seen in porn. Porn is, you gotta remember that porn are actors. So if you never had an orgasm and you're looking at porn to be like, oh, is that what's supposed to happen? Might not be the best indication. You can't be too aware of what you're doing. You can't be too in your head. You know, I've said this before in my TikToks, but having an orgasm is 90% in our heads. Like, our mind needs to be right. We can't be all over the place. We need to really get into the mood, and foreplay can really help with that. Not only getting your body into the mood, but also your mind. A lot of people can't finish in other ways. Like, for example, a woman that only comes from clitoral stimulation, she might not know that she has more orgasmic potential, which is something that I've been thinking about, you know, trying to expand mine and figure out ways to do that, maybe with the yoni egg and with breast massage and all of that. And like I've talked about before, for women, it's really important to learn how we like to be touched on our own through masturbation, and that is how we learn how to teach. This is how we learn how to teach our partners, our future partners, our current partners to please us, is by learning what we like on our own. So it's easier to learn what we like on our own because, you know, when you're by yourself, you're not thinking about what the other person's thinking. You know, it's just you. There's no judgment there. There's nothing else really extra to think about or overthink about. I highly recommend that if you haven't before, take a mirror and look at your vulva. Looking at your vagina really helps build a relationship with it and understand it. And understanding that there's 3 openings. You know, there's your urethra, your vaginal opening, and your anus. Understanding that, because I didn't know that when I was like 12 or 13. And Betty Dodson said it's important to look at it because, you know, if you were getting up to go out and never looked at your face, how would you know how you looked? You know, same thing with your vagina, it's a body part. I just feel like a lot of the time we feel weird looking at it because of the stigma in society. See it as beautiful, appreciate it, don't compare it to ones in porn. And if you've never had an orgasm, it's good to, you know, learn how to masturbate on your own. You know, finger yourself. If you don't feel comfortable and you're reluctant to touch, like a lot of women, you can use a vibrator. Just beware of vibrator addiction. I would highly recommend, if you've never had an orgasm, to subscribe to BEDucated as well, because they can teach you how to touch yourself. And actually, if you're a visual learner, you can watch people actually touch themselves and see, okay, maybe that'll feel good to me. And the more that you listen to sex educators normalize it, the less taboo and less strange it will feel. That is all I have to say in this video, but I'm going to continue posting on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram about sex. I highly recommend that you check out BEDucated. The link is in my description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to become more BEDucated and if you want me to meet your sexpectations, which I strive to do on a daily basis. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.